In a quiet coastal town where the rain came hard and the winters felt endless, Mara kept the porch light burning every night. Her son Eli had left home 7 years earlier after a terrible argument that split the family open like a cracked hull against the rocks. He had not answered her letters. He never returned her calls. Only once in a while, in the lonely hours before dawn, she would find herself listening to an old voicemail of his voice, young and weary, saying he needed time. So she gave him time. Every evening after work, Mara would stand at the front window of her weathered house and watch the road disappear into fog. The neighbors came to know her as the woman with the light on. When storms shook the windows and wind whipped salt spray against the porch, she would still go out with trembling hands to check the bulb, wiping rain from her cheeks as if the weather itself were only another kind of grief. There were nights she wanted to give up. In her small kitchen, beneath fading family photographs, she sat with unopened birthday cards and letters she had written but never mailed. At church, she would sing quietly in the back row, while the empty space beside her seemed to speak of everything she had lost. Sometimes after the service, an older woman from the choir would touch her arm and say, "Keep waiting in prayer. Love is patient." And Mara would nod, though her heart ached. One stormy evening, the power in half the neighborhood failed, and the sea wind pressed hard against the porch. Mara lit a candle, sat by the window and whispered, "Lord, I have done all I know to do. If my son comes home tonight, let it be by your mercy. If not, help me still trust you." Then she waited. Hours passed. The rain softened. The thunder moved out over the ocean. Near midnight, headlights slid slowly into the driveway. Mara stood so quickly her chair fell back against the floor. A tired man stepped out of the car, older than the boy she remembered, his shoulders bowed with shame. Eli looked at the house as if he could not bear to believe the light was still there. He reached the porch and stopped, his voice breaking before it could become a sentence. "Mom, I'm sorry." Mara did not ask where he had been. She did not demand answers for the years she had lost. She only opened the door wide and crossed the threshold toward him. For a moment he stood rigid, as if waiting to be turned away. But instead she took his face in her hands and wept. The porch light glowed behind them, warm and steady against the storm. By dawn the rain had stopped. The clouds thinned over the water and pale sunlight broke across the shore. Inside the house, mother and son sat at the kitchen table with 2 cups of coffee between them, speaking carefully, honestly, and at last with hope. The years could not be erased, but mercy had opened a door no bitterness could keep shut. Lesson: a faithful love that keeps praying, waiting, and forgiving reflects the heart of God, because love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things.